Hello and welcome back once again to the Wrestling Rant. It's time for the SmackDown spoilers. Got my notes here. This is SmackDown from Friday, August 29th, 2014. And this was apparently filmed somewhere in Ontario, Canada. Not exactly sure where, it didn't specify, and the only reason I knew that it was somewhere in Ontario is when Bray Wyatt came out, some of the people in attendance were upset that he didn't mention Ontario. Yeah, anyways. Speaking of which, that's actually the first match. Roman Reigns defeats Bray Wyatt by disqualification when, of course, Harper and Rowan interfere. He can't win without somebody helping him, and he can't lose clean. He's got to get Harper and Rowan to get him disqualified. It's really pathetic. So yeah, Harper and Rowan attack Roman, and then all three of them beat down Reigns until the Big Show and Mark Henry make the save. And I think it was announced on Raw, they said that they were going to have a match on SmackDown between Show and Henry versus Harper and Rowan. They were going to redo that match again. Yeah, that kind of comes into play later. Up next, Seth Rollins defeats Rob Van Dam. Whatever. And then, this one's kind of funny. Paige defeats Emma. And after the match, AJ comes out with a box of chocolates. And this leads to Paige spitting a piece of the candy at Emma. It must have tasted bad or something. But AJ picks it up and eats it. The piece of candy that Paige spit at Emma. So now AJ is picking up dirty, spit-covered pieces of candy. I may have to watch this because I need to see this now. Right, and here's where it comes up. At this point, they mention that the main event, Big Show and Henry versus Harper and Rowan, has been changed to a 6-man tag match, adding in Roman Reigns to team with Big Show and Henry, and they're going to go against all three of the Wyatts, including Bray. So yeah, that's where they announced that. Up next, Mr. Boring, I'm talking about Rusev, defeats Jack Swagger again. This time after Bo Dallas causes interference. So yeah, the Rusev and Swagger match, or the Rusev and Swagger feud, is pretty much done. They're pushing Swagger into a feud with Bo Dallas. Don't ask me why, because I don't think it makes any sense. It doesn't. Makes no sense. Whatever, don't care. And after Swagger loses, again, I guess Rusev and Lana take a hike, and Bo attacks Jack Swagger. I guess to get him back for Swagger slamming the fuck out of him on Raw. Well, Bo, if you hadn't been running your mouth about Jack, maybe he wouldn't have pimp slapped you. And then we could have avoided this conflagration. You think of that one, Bo? You tool? Moving on. Jey Uso defeats Stardust. And after the match, Stardust and Goldust beat down both of the Usos. So yeah, Stardust and Goldust are heel. It doesn't look like they're going to do the Goldust and Cody Rhodes feud anytime soon. This heel thing's going to have to run its course, and Goldust is going to have to turn face, because I don't think Cody's going to turn face. I don't know. Who cares? Moving on. Up next, Sheamus defeats Damien Sandow, who is still dressed as The Miz, still playing Miz's stunt double. And of course, Miz is out there too. I guess he was on commentary, it didn't say. But after the match, Miz runs away from Sheamus, only to be thrown back into the ring by Dolph Ziggler, who came out. So Ziggler comes out, throws the Miz back into the ring. The Miz dodges a brogue kick attempt by Sheamus. Miz dodges it. He gets the fuck out of the ring, and he bails out through the crowd. So, of course, this trying to protect the moneymaker, this whole shtick. And that brings us to the main event. Roman Reigns, Big Show, and Mark Henry defeat the Wyatts, and they pose to end the show. So that's it for SmackDown. Also, three other notes here. First note, Batista, who, sure you probably remember, he left a couple months ago, it was, maybe? I don't know. But he left because he had to do some shit for that movie that he's in, the Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't seen it. I have no interest in seeing it. I never even heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy before this movie. So, and looking at the characters, you've got this weird talking tree thing. Groot, apparently, is his name. You have a, what is it, a possum? Or a raccoon? Talking raccoon? Don't see that. And Batista plays this weird, he's like bluish or something. Again, weird ass. I know it's a Marvel movie and there's a lot of weird ass characters, but it's like, like I said, I never even heard of these characters before this movie came out. I don't read comic books. I like some of the Marvel characters, but I don't really read comic books. But I'd never heard of these characters or this Guardians of the Galaxy thing up until this. But either way, winding back around, back to the point I was trying to make, Batista had to leave for the stuff to do with the movie. Apparently, the movie is quite successful, and so Batista's basically become like a new Hollywood type. So he may be done with the WWE. He may not be coming back. Good news for me. I never liked the motherfucker anyways. I couldn't care less if he doesn't come back. Don't need ya, don't want ya, and there's plenty of other guys we can have, or we can use to fill that time. We don't need you, Dave. Whatever. So, yeah, he's apparently going to have a nice Hollywood career after this. Good for him. I don't care. I don't care. Next up, I haven't talked about this too much because it's more NXT stuff. Right now, currently in NXT, the current NXT Women's Champion is Charlotte, who is Ric Flair's daughter. Let's see, she won the tournament to find the new Women's Champion after Paige, the first and former champion, vacated the title because she got called up to the main roster and became Divas Champion. So Paige vacated the title, they held a tournament to find a new champion, and Charlotte wound up winning. Charlotte now is apparently about to be called up to the main roster. I don't know how good she is. I haven't seen her wrestle yet, so I can't comment on that. I think I've seen what she looks like. She's not too bad looking. But then again, you practically have to be pretty good looking to get hired by the WWE, so... Anyways, one of the reasons, or at least one of the bonuses, I guess, to having Charlotte called up to the main roster that they said that they had made a note of, is that Ric Flair would be like a mainstay on the show, because he would be in Charlotte's corner, you know. Okay, fine, whatever. So there's that. That's a possibility. Now, that has not been confirmed to be happening yet, but they said it's, what did they say? Something about there were plans to have Charlotte drop the title to Bayley, who is another one of the girls they have down there in NXT. Charlotte's going to drop the title to Bayley at the next NXT TakeOver pay-per-view, which is apparently the only name they could come up with for NXT pay-per-views, because they've only had one so far, and it was TakeOver. So this will be TakeOver 2. So it's like they're doing like a UFC thing, where every UFC pay-per-view is just another number. They're up to like 180 something? I don't know. I don't watch UFC, so I don't know. But yeah, whatever. That is a possible plan. Like I said, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but that's the plan that they're thinking about. So, you could see Charlotte coming up to the main roster sometime soon. Possibly. The last little bit of news I have here is a bit of sad news. Jake the Snake Roberts was hospitalized with what's apparently a bout of double pneumonia, I think is what it said. Had no idea you could actually get double pneumonia. But yeah, apparently what was happening was Jake was on a plane going to Vegas, I believe, to see a show that was being run by or featured Sin Bodhi, who from way back was Kizarny in the WWE, had one match and was never seen again. But yeah, Jake was on a plane going to Vegas, or maybe going from Vegas, I don't know. But he passed out on the plane, and so they take him to the hospital, and he's been there ever since. This is kind of sad after, you know, Jake being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and after having cleaned his life up as well, you know, with thanks to DDP, him and Scott Hall. So, really hope everything turns out okay for him. I'd hate to hear about him dying. That would suck. So yeah, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he'll be okay. But that's the last bit of news that I have. I think that will do it for the SmackDown spoilers. Thank you for watching. Once again, this will be the spoilers for tomorrow night, because today's Thursday. Tomorrow night, August 29th, 2014, from somewhere in Ontario, Canada. I guess. It was probably Toronto, because that's like the only place in Ontario that they go. So, I don't know. But either way, as always, my notes came from NoDQ.com. I still wonder why I even do this when you guys could just go to NoDQ.com. Anyways. Yeah, so that's it for the Wrestling Rant for this episode. Thank you for watching. Join us, I guess, next Monday. It'll be the Labor Day. I think I heard it was Labor Day on Monday. So, Yeah, it'll probably be the special Labor Day edition of Raw. It probably won't make a lick of fucking difference because the show will probably still suck. God. I'm still trying to get over how bad the show was this past week. It was bad. Ugh. I really don't know how much longer I can watch this shit. It may be worth it just to see this stuff with Paige and AJ. I swear, they're going to work this to the point where Paige and AJ are going to start making out. Well, actually, I don't know if they'll do that. They probably don't have the balls to do something like that. It'd be hilarious, though, if they did. AJ is, like, so infatuated with Paige all of a sudden. I don't know. Spitballing. Like I said, that's it for the Wrestling Rant. Thank you once again for watching. Join us on Monday for Raw, and we will see you then. Good night.